Welcome back to my channel. This is Raina from the Raina's Kitchen. See how nice that rice and peas look? That's what we're making today. Sitting right there next to my escovitch fish. Well, you can have it with chicken, oxtail, goat, whatever your preference is. So stay tuned and let's get started. All right, let's get started. So I am using long grain rice, two different types of long grain rice. I'm using the Pampa rice from Dollar Tree. It's the best regular long grain. I'm also using the extra long grain rice, which is basmati. You can purchase that at your indie pack store, any of your farmers market. I'm sure they have other basmati rice in the supermarket, but you can use any rice of your choice, parboil, jasmine. I'm just using half and half. I'm using 2 cups of the basmati and 2 cups of the regular long grain. It's a great combination when you mix them. Here are my ingredients. I have my brown sugar. I'm using a little salt, butter, ginger, garlic, scotch bonnet, thyme. I got my scallion, my pimento seeds, and I have that pure cream coconut, and also have a can, actually half a can of that other the liquid coconut milk. All right, and there I have my beans. They're really beans, but in Jamaica we call them peas, so it's like rice and peas, but they're small red beans is what they are. They're pre-cooked. I usually cook them in advance, and when I'm cooking I just scoop out a couple cups to make whatever I'm making. If I'm making a smaller pot of rice and peas, or if I'm making a larger pot, I have enough to serve me, so I'm using 2 cups right there. So, and then I'm also using my onion. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this onion, and also I usually chop it up. You can blend it as well, like in a NutriBullet. That's another option. I'm just using half of it because it's a fairly large onion, but if you have a small onion you can use that. But like I said, you can chop it up or you can blend it, whichever you prefer. All right, and while I'm chopping up this onion, as you can see, I have my plate to the left to make my kitchen experience seamless. I put all the ingredients on this plate. I'm gonna transfer all the ingredients on the plate to the pot. Just makes it go a lot smoother. Just have everything ready. All right, let me go ahead and get this pimento seed grinded up. It's actually equivalent to about a teaspoon of the pimento seeds, which is called allspice. If you don't have access to the regular allspice berries, you can actually buy the ground allspice, which is actually in the spice section in the supermarket. So like I said, this is about a teaspoon is what I'm adding to the rice and peas. And I'm also gonna crush this garlic in this mortar as well, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grate the ginger. And the ginger, if you want to crush it, you can do so. It's just for the aroma in the rice and peas. You can remove it before the rice and peas is finished cooking. And there I am, just gonna use a little grater, and I'm putting about a teaspoon of the ginger in the rice and peas as well. All right, so see how beautiful my plate is looking already. Nice little color palette going on there. So I'm gonna also use coconut milk, which I'm using half a can of the liquid coconut milk, and I'm also using a half of this coconut cream, which is in the block form. It's on the shelf in the supermarket as well. So it has the coconut flakes, it has the coconut oil. It's very rich in flavor. So just give the rice and peas a nice little, if you don't have a old-fashioned coconut to crack and grater and do all that stuff. So this is another alternative, so spice up that rice and peas. All right, so my plate is ready. So that's half a block of that pure creamed coconut. I'm using about a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of the sugar and the raw brown sugar. And there's my half of a can of the coconut milk, which is equivalent to about 1 cup of coconut milk. I have my rice. I'm gonna add a little scallion, green onion to this as well. I have a little butter, not much, probably about a teaspoon. You can, substitute, add, take away, if you don't want butter, if you don't want salt, if you want more salt. You know, just season your pot to your liking and make your little, you know, own modifications as you go. Definitely need a Scotch bonnet pepper. It doesn't have to, you know, some people say just put the green ones in there, but if you only have access to the red, the green, the yellow, whatever color, just put a Scotch bonnet pepper in there. Just make sure the pepper don't burst in the pot, because you don't want no pepper pot rice and peas. Okay, so that's the only thing I was advised. And here's my rice strainer. I always wash my rice, wash it to get some of the particles, the dirt, impurities off. All right, just keep washing until the water is nice and crystal clear. Just see how cloudy it is. So the more you wash, rinse, it'll start clearing up. And you can actually pick this rice strainer up by clicking on the Amazon link. I will leave the link in my description box. It's a great tool to have in a kitchen, but if you don't have one of this, I've seen people use a regular strainer, so that's another option as well. All right, so that rice looks pretty clear. The water looks pretty clear now, so I can go ahead and get everything going so I can transfer this rice to my pot. I'm actually using 4 cups of water. You can just follow the instructions on the back of the package, but it would probably tell you to use 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water, but I think that just makes it a little bit too mushy. I'm already using a cup of coconut milk, plus the peas has liquid, plus these, so it's probably about 6 to 7 cups of water in here when you combine all of that. So that's why I'm using less water. So there goes my peas. I'm dropping that in. That's my 2 cups. And then, like I said, the coconut milk is another cup of water, or well, liquid is what it is. So just, you know, look at the consistency, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop my ingredients in as well. Drop that block in. It's gonna dissolve, so you'll see that also. I'm dropping them in no particular order. See, my fish is frying off to the side. I usually have everything going on the stove at one time so my meals can, you know, complete around the same time. All right, so when your ingredients are chopped this small, it basically dissolves like the green onion. I'm gonna let it's gonna dissolve instead of you trying to remove it at the end. It's like, you know, it's a different version of your green seasoning, but in a bigger form. All right, so I do add about a teaspoon to a tablespoon to my rice and peas of this coconut oil. It's my favorite coconut oil. You can pick it up at Costco. You can see it's a Kirkland's brand. Just give the rice and peas that nice coconut oil flavor. All right, so just, you know, let this simmer for come to a boil for about 10 minutes before adding your rice. So I'm just gonna move it to a different burner, which is my center burner, which cooks a little faster because it's that rapid boil. So like I said, just let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then it's been about 10 minutes already. So move it over. I'm gonna add the rice, and be on our way to our finished product. Alright, so after adding the rice, I allow this to boil on medium to high heat to get all this water out and see what it looks like. So it's most of the water has already absorbed and it's on its way to the final process. And when it gets to this point, I'm basically gonna cover it up so the rice can steam, and that's usually on medium to low heat is what I steam it on. And you know, they always say, oh, don't put a spoon in your rice, but you can put a spoon. Just, I'm not stirring it up, I'm just basically moving it from side to side, so the spoon is not going to affect the rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover it up, and it's gonna be like another 10 to 15 minutes of steaming. All right, so we'll be back in. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes and my rice is ready. It's cooked. See how nice it looks. All the water is already absorbed, and if your rice still needs some additional steaming, you can, you know, turn it on low heat and cover it with either aluminum foil or saran wrap or even a clean plastic bag. So that's another option. Okay, here we have it. It's ready. Look how nice and fluffy, and it's shelly too. See how the grains separate? That's how I like my rice. So if you enjoy this video, please be sure to comment, share the video with your friends and family, and also click that notification bell, hit the subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video.